The Ministry of Transport has launched a campaign to make the road accident free. It has installed and equipped a control room in the government department with a software e-man that monitors the over 100 interurban buses already equipped with the device. 3 days after the launch, several drivers have already fallen prey. Beatrice Lum has more.
This is the driver of an interurban bus caught live on camera just 48 hours after the Yaman application was launched. The driver wants to defy nature to make his ends meet, but the lives of the over 70 passengers on board is at stake. The innovative system has permitted the ministry to monitor all delinquent road users and properly manage the circulation of all forms of vehicles on the highway, and this is the first prey.
If the driver is distracted, if he uses the cell phone while driving, if the driver is tired, if the vehicle is poor technical state, this system indicates.
This far, the system is activated in some 100 interurban buses, 5 per agency. While the ministry checks the routes through the control room, the agencies concerned in this pilot phase can do so via the terminal installed at the agency, meaning there is always a room to cross-check the real cause of the accident.
In case there is an accident, the system enables us to replay a video of what might have caused the accident.
The partnership between the Ministry of Transport and Camtrack, a private company, will last 1 month for this pilot phase and aims at reducing the number of deaths on the roads.
Time for us to welcome our guest, Divine Bamobe. You are the Director of Land Transport in the Ministry of Transport. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon.
Now tell us, in the report that just ended, the e-man software is already launched and it seems to be yielding. Can you tell us how many cases of delinquent drivers are already on record?
The system records, it depends on the different cases that we have permitted the system to operate. For instance, since Monday, we have already registered 5,858 cases of excessive speed. Once the case of excessive speed is noticed, the system calls the attention of the driver to go back to normal speed. You know, the first cause of accidents on the highways in Cameroon is excessive speed. So today the system has enabled us to have a mechanism that addresses this issue, because in 3 days the system has already identified and called to normal about 5,858 cases of excessive speed. We have the system have also addressed 58 cases of tiredness and drivers that were practically sleeping on the while driving. So when that is noticed, the system sends an alert and calls the driver to order and have the vehicle immobilized and have the driver rest before he continues, before the journey can continue. The system has also identified about 200 cases of obstacles on our highways, and that sends an alert to the driver that there is a roadblock, there is an obstacle, there is a pothole, there is a vehicle that's poorly parked, so that the driver can be vigilant. About almost 1,065 cases of people the system have seen driving without their seat belt. You understand that there is 90% of chances of you surviving in case of an accident if you have a seatbelt on. So those are some of the results we already registered just 4 days into the implementation of this pilot phase.
So basically, what are you looking for when you monitor a car? What are those characteristics you are searching for in the driver?
The first thing we have to say is that the Ministry of Transport sends particular salutation to all the interurban transport companies that have accepted this pilot phase, because what you've seen with a driver that is tired is not like a case of sabotage in the company, but it's a way to comfort the users that these travel agencies have accepted to put in place a system that accompanies them to check human weaknesses that can cause accidents. So they are rather safe agencies to drive there. Now, there are 3 factors that cause accidents that this system takes into consideration. The first factor that results to accidents in the highway, which is a human factor, 70% of accidents are caused by human factor, with extreme speed as the first cause of accidents on our highways. Now, this system enables us to check exactly at what speed a vehicle is driving and gives a limit. Once that vehicle gets to that limit, you want to bypass the limit, the system calls you to order. So it's a proactive system that checks all the accident-prone circumstances. If you are tired, the system stops you from driving. So what we are looking for, what the system will put in place to identify all accident-prone factors that could be linked to the road infrastructure, the vehicle, and the driver. And it also controls the interior of the vehicle to make sure that all those who are on board that vehicle, they are wearing their face masks because of the COVID, and they are having their seat belts, because once there is a vehicle that's been driven at 90 kilometers an hour, if that vehicle gets into collision, the passengers who don't have their seat belts are going to be projected at that same speed, and that's automatic death for them. That's why the system checks all risk factors and sends an alarm and call to order. So it's a preventive system. But what in a case where an accident occurs, we are able to replay the video to see what actually happened, so that we can able to put corrective measures as far as that accident is concerned.
Now, with roads that are not lit at night, especially the highways and internet problems, is that not a hitch? How do you function at night?
We should understand that this system has been experimented at Ministry of Transport before being rendered public about 3 years ago. The first thing is that just like the sophisticated radars that the Ministry of Transport has put in place, the roadside radars that are in place, this system has the capacity to have clear vision both during the day and at night, because it has to give the driver immediate information about the clarity of the road. One thing that users should understand is the fact that the cameras that are on these vehicles that read all the operations that happen on the roads, if we see a road offense being committed by another vehicle around that vehicle, like overspeeding, not respecting road signs and road maps, we have information about the registration certificate of those vehicles, and those vehicles can be stopped by the nearest control, or the sanction that is that's required by existing regulation can be applied.
Now, it's the pilot phase. What next after this? And do you intend to, install these devices throughout the country?
The first thing we have to understand is that you have to prepare people psychologically to accept change. So the pilot phase is to inculcate in our nature this new instrument that I must say that is first of its kind in Africa in innovation. People are discovering it and are getting to get used to it. Today, pilot phase with 10 buses, it is an architecture that's going to be extended to make sure that we guarantee not only that those that ply our roads should be safe, but the travel agencies know that once they have this equipment, like take for example, we already have about 5,000 cases of excessive speed that would have resulted in an accident and destroyed even their vehicles, but it is being addressed. So I think it's a system that is going to be extended after the pilot phase. The result will prove itself necessary.
Dernière préoccupation avant de vous libérer, monsieur le directeur, au-delà de ce dispositif, où en est-on avec le permis à points au ministère des Transports?
Oui, c'est important. Il faut savoir que quand on parle de permis à points, c'est la mise en place de tout un dispositif qui commence au niveau de la formation, le suivi des formations, l'assainissement des fichiers des auto-écoles, l'organisation des examens de permis de conduire et la délivrance de ces parchemins qui est le permis de conduire. Aujourd'hui, le ministère des Transports a fait ce qu'on appelle la réforme des permis de conduire qui a assaini toute la sécurité d'obtention de permis de conduire. J'ai autrement dit, nous disposons à partir depuis le 11 février 2018 l'architecture technologique pour porter le permis en points. Mais nous sommes à la phase de texte en vigueur parce qu'il faut que la loi sur la sécurité routière transforme le permis de conduire ordinaire en un permis en points. C'est raison que on nous avait demandé d'abord préparer l'architecture et préparer les textes. Les textes sont préparés, l'architecture est déjà là parce que ce qu'on utilise actuellement, c'est l'architecture des permis en points. Mais lorsque le texte soit pris, on va passer à cette